Hi everyone, welcome to Behind the Wheel Racing. My name is Jake. Thank you for joining me today. We've got Daily Race B on Gran Turismo 7. We're at Daytona. We're in the Grade 3 cars. We're on the road course for Daytona, which I absolutely love because I'm a fan of oval racing and I'm a fan of GT racing. So this is kind of a perfect little marriage of the two. I'm in the Peugeot VGT car, and this is the first time I've raced this car. I'm a little unknown to it, as you'll see in this first corner. I got a couple laps of practice, but I spent most of this first corner exploring the grass. I ended up dropping all the way back to 15th, but mistakes happen. I was just trying to make sure not to run anyone at this point. Beginning of the race, I'm really trying to boost up my sportsmanship rating. I got bumped down as of recent, and I think at the beginning of this race I started as an A, so I'm really trying to get back to that S tier, and I'm doing that here. So at this first part of the race, I'm just kind of letting people make their own mistakes. I'm not really doing anything too aggressive. I'm taking advantage of penalties and slide outs and whatnot. I'm just trying to keep on my line and get a feel for this car. And luckily, it seemed like a lot of people in this lobby were trying to kind of do the same thing. So it was for the most part pretty clean racing. I'm able to make my way back up to 9th after falling down the last in that first corner, which I'm pretty happy about. But I did have some issues in this race, and they were with my pedal board. Now, I run a Logitech G29, and if you look down at my accelerometer, you can see a little bit of what they call flickering. And basically what the flickering is even if I was at full throttle, it would not measure the full throttle reading on the piece called the potentiometer, which basically just measures the stroke of the pedal and the power you're putting down. So I was having issues with that in this race, and it almost cost me my race here. You'll see how close the finish is. Almost lost and dropped back into 10th place, but I was able to find a fix for this. This is a slight issue that Logitechs have. I've been happy with mine up until now. This is the first real issue I've had with it, but there's plenty of videos on how to fix this. So I looked up some videos, I got some contact cleaner, sprayed down the potentiometers, and just to show you guys that fix kind of, so far it has worked. You can see that all of my pedals are reading just fine. I figured I'd just clean all of them off since I already have my pedal board open. But I wanted to try this out in a race, make sure it held up throughout the course of this race, and especially a race on this where you're full throttle quite a bit of the time. You do have to kind of be gentle with the throttle on some of these parts of the road course, and you also have to go full throttle on those big bank turns and long straightaways of Daytona. So much cleaner start here. A little bit of a tap from the back, but that's okay. Just making it through this first section pretty clean here, and then just coming up and more people making mistakes, and I'm just feeding off of that at that point. Get a nice draft. See ya. I'm up into 4th, and that's kind of how a lot of this race went as well, at least starting from 6th. So another person's going to grab a penalty up here. Yep, we're going to pass right by him. We're all the way up on a podium space already, and this is after only one lap. So we're going into the first corner on the 3rd here. This guy's going to run wide, so while we're at it, we might as well take 2nd. So get a clean little getaway, and this guy we didn't really run into each other. I looked back at the replays, and I didn't make any contact with him. We were definitely close, but he kind of just veered off of the track off to that right, which I explored the grass on that first lap of that last race, so I guess I just want to see what it was like. I've got 3rd place on me right here coming in on that 3rd lap, and luckily this guy was racing pretty clean. We were fairly close the whole race, so he didn't make any moves. But the guy in 4th, well, he went for a much more aggressive move, and he just said, "See, I'm gonna take 3rd place from him." and he wasn't much different to me following up in this race. Here he's got a good draft on me. He moves around the corner. I know this guy, he's aggressive, so I'm just going to brake hard and let him go right past me. And I saw a lot of people making this mistake during this race. They'd mess up that second part of the road course, that little kink, and they'd run over either that grass or the little curb that's on the exit, either due to, they came in with too much speed or they got onto the throttle too quickly. And I knew this guy was going to make this mistake. I'm going to take advantage of that. See ya, I'm going to go back into second place, but not see you for long. This guy stays on me, and I don't know whether or not that Ford is a little bit quicker or not, or if I was just racing a little slow, playing it a little bit safe. He comes back at me, he gives me a little shove, but that's okay. I'm just focused on my sportsmanship rating at this point, so I'm going to stay on him, but I'm not going to get too close. I'm going to stay, get a nice little exit out of that corner of the road course, and I know I've got a huge bank turn and a long straightaway to just draft and draft and draft, and that's exactly what I did. And you can see me creeping up on him pretty quickly. I'm going to take an outside line here, but I wasn't planning on cutting in. Instead, I'm going to do that same. He gave me a little shove there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stay kind of close, but give him some room, and I knew he was going to drive this too aggressively, and he got another penalty there. This time, since he repeat offender on that exit, I knew he was going to get a second penalty. Even better, and I know with this big bank curve and long straightaway all the way to the finish, plenty of draft for me to make up that space. He knew it. He said, see ya, I'm done with this race. And I say, well, that's no problem. I'll take second place off your hands, and I'm going to finish this race nice and clean. So there you have it. My fix worked, and I was racing clean. And I never really asked for this, but, if you guys could like, subscribe, comment, let me know what y'all like. Let me know what y'all don't like. I'd really appreciate it. Get the clean race here. And just to end this off on a good note, ending with an S sportsmanship rating. So super happy on that. And I'm looking forward to the next race. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.